Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of the White House Correspondents' Ball. Is that the technical name of it? The White House Correspondents' Dinner? You know, somewhere outside of D.C., outside of the same hotel that Ronald Reagan was shot, I believe. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Monday, April 27, 2026. And this right here, the thing that you are watching, it's called the TNAM Daily Show. Make it bigger. The TNAM Daily Show here on the New American Media. Yes, TNAM stands for the New American Media because the old American media has failed us. Has it not? Well, the Secret Service is failing us. Are they not? They did their job. They kept the administration safe. And I can't get my Rumble playback. Someone tell me if Rumble is working. I see nothing loading on my Rumble account. Something went wrong is the message I'm getting on everything. So I'm going to restart this device. I believe we are streaming on the proper platforms. Facebook page, The New American Media. YouTube channel, The New American Media. Twitch, The New American Media. Kick, The New American Media. DLive, The New American Media. X, at American_media_. I believe we're streaming to the right places, but I am restarting this device because can't find out if we are on Rumble. Someone tell me in chat. It's working on Rumble. Thank you. Lake Leon also saying big time failure once again. I'm going to get into it. I don't know what else is in the stack from the weekend. This week, there was a lot of NFL draft chatter. We did a mock draft, myself, Jim Mitchell, Ezrael Robinson, Mike Barra. We did our NFL shows on Strictly Football. Check those out. Strictly Football. I should figure out when we want to do a recap. Man, we should probably do a recap today. So I'll send that message out too, but make sure you're following the Unhappy Hour sports show. That's where we get Strictly Football and other stuff. So yeah, this weekend was a lot of stuff. And that, is it called the White House Correspondents? I got to ask Grok. What is it called? White House Correspondents Dinner? Ball? Roast? White House Correspondents Dinner, WHCD. Nerd Prom. Journalists, politicians, celebrities. Yeah, criticized oftentimes for being too cozy between the press and the people they cover. Well, I wonder if, and here's the thing, question of the day, have you ever been at a shooting? And did it change you? I was at, let's go to sports. By the way, if you like the program and you've been following us for any part of the past 15 years, we ask that you maybe buy some merch to support us. The Unhappy Hour. We got coasters, 4 for $30, either Ohio-shaped or circle-shaped. I'll do 2 for $50, shipping included. Make a donation on Venmo, and a pin for $25. So all 3 of these are $75 if you want some. But I was with the Unhappy Hour sports show in Cleveland for the Cavaliers 2016 parade. By the way, donation links at the bottom of the screen. Thank you to everyone who's a monthly subscriber on Patreon, YouTube, and Rumble. And today we ask for your Rumble rants and your Super Chats because it is wrapping up the end of the month and there are bills to be paid. No doubt about it. And outside of the Cleveland Cavaliers parade, there was, I believe it was a 15-year-old kid shot his girlfriend in the leg or something like that. Now I'm curious, and I have Grok open. Details on Cavs 2016 parade shooting scare. Because it'll change you. I know that because I lived through one. We had to go down an alley and duck into a store, into a restaurant. Fight broke out between teenagers around 5 p.m. Multiple gunshots fired. 13-year-old girl shot twice in the leg, knees, non-threatening injuries. Innocent bystander carried to police. Treated and released. The guy was arrested. But yeah, it led to a stampede. And this is at the height of the Obama era where you had Islamic supremacists blowing things up all over the globe. These terror attacks. Wow, they're all over the place now, aren't they? Whether it's an Ariana Grande shooting, a Christmas celebration, you could expect radical Islamic supremacists driving cars to mow down Christians, or somebody going to a music venue and shooting up a music venue. Oh, almost like it was foretelling you what was going to happen at that Israeli festival. But, you know, depending on who you want to listen to, certain quasi-Republicans or most of the left, Israel did that to themselves. That'd be akin to the 15-year-old shooting himself in both knees and then blaming, fill in the blank, anybody, because that's how it goes. Or maybe Erica Kirk did it, right? Could you imagine the PTSD that would trigger in a person? Not even a year since you watched your husband explode. But now it's time to make fun of Erica Kirk. Oh my gosh, she's crying, and she doesn't cry right, and she's not right, and she's wrong, and she's weird, and her eyes, and she probably did it, and Trump did it. Insinuate Candace Owens and many others. It's a clock. It's not a horseshoe. You hear about this thing. When you go from noon, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you loop back around, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and you loop back around at 6 o'clock. You'll cross paths with a lot of people on the backside of that political left-right spectrum. Faked. Staged. Didn't happen. We interviewed John Fugel saying he didn't think Butler happened. Well, I mean, explain Corey Comparatore. If I'm saying his name right. If not, please correct me. Nope, never happened. It was just a WWE style. What? I can't blame the conspiratards completely. You know, and my co-host Mike Barra for Strictly Football, he does his own programming. Go follow him. He issued a video I watched yesterday to just leave David Wilcock alone. You know, he's a troubled man. He took his life. Like, let's just let it go. Not everything's a conspiracy. And he knew him. They hung out more than I did. I met him once, got a quick interview with him. I think it serves as an interesting historical time capsule. And that's why I do interviews. You interview Jim Mars, and then he's off the planet. And you go, well, what did he say in that chat? I don't know. There's all sorts of gems. Sean David Morton. Jordan Maxwell. All sorts. Charlie Kirk. John McAfee. You know, I've interviewed a lot of people that are gone. Yeah, and with interviews, you're happy that you get them, but you always wish you had a little bit more time to sit down and just hash things out, just lay more out on the table and see where it goes. But yeah, Mike made a post that was just like, now everything's a conspiracy, the UFO angle, and he was silenced. Okay. He was a troubled guy and he had troubles, and he allegedly did that to himself, and let's just let him rest in peace. We're in a world now with AI. It's hard to believe any story. It's hard to believe every story. And I usually don't. I think I approach the stories from that perspective as well. Yeah, on my side, it's still saying something went wrong. Nothing's loading on Rumble. Something went wrong. Please try again. Yeah, I'm getting no feed on Rumble over here. So you're certain that that's coming through. That's good. Continue commenting and staying over there on Rumble. Appreciate you manning the fort. Like Leon, appreciate that. It's hard to believe anything. We never went to space. We didn't land on the moon. There is no moon. There's no us. This is a simulation. There's no God. Or God created everything. A lot of certainty from a lot of people that don't really have the data points to justify certainty. But they do it anyway. Oh, they do it anyway. So today we're going to break down what we know, what we don't know. This was a deranged California teacher, radicalized, this virtue signaling manifesto. It's like you could have lifted the MSNBC, MS Now, CNN, and wigs. That's a Norm Macdonald joke. It's an impersonation of Richard Nixon. And wigs. He cracked Jerry Seinfeld up with that one. This manifesto, it could have been ripped from the opening to a Rachel Maddow or Chris Cuomo, or fill in the name of your deranged liberal politician, whether it's Hakeem Jeffries or Nancy Pelosi or Maxine Waters. You got to get in their faces at the gasoline stations. Get in their faces. Bitch, we talk things out in America. We have civil discourse. You can agree to disagree without becoming disagreeable. The left does not agree. You cannot have a good faith argument with somebody that cannot argue, doesn't want to argue, doesn't want to debate, have a conversation, defend their positions, listen to opposing viewpoints. They want to get loud and threaten and yell and get in your face and intimidate you. Have you encountered this? Deal with the general public enough and you will. And it sucks. And it's unfortunate and it's unnecessary and it's stupid. The assertions made in this rambling manifesto are not proven. An accusation is just an accusation. But he claims to know it is fact because the liberals keep, and they're not liberals. There's nothing liberal about them. The tyrants of the Democrat Party, the domestic terrorists on the Democrat Party side. Oh, well, E. Jean Carroll, don't you know there was a court case? And so Trump, yep, he's found guilty. Have you reviewed any of the details of that hit piece, of that whole situation is a sham? And what proof is there of Epstein other than Trump's DOJ arresting him? And then releasing millions of folders and documents? Yeah, I get it. You're still talking about Epstein, this guy. It's boring. I have nothing to do with it. You're kind of stupid for bringing it up. But Mr. President, we want to see heads on sticks, heads on pikes. gallows, electric chairs. Who's harming the kids? A band I really enjoy called Highly Suspect is putting out a song about that very topic. I think he's super woke, the singer. Probably suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. I love the band. I met him. Johnny Stevens, I believe. First 3 albums they made were just chef's kiss. A little bit of salt. I mean, so good. And I admit that looked bad. Maybe the lowest point of the Trump administration, but I don't have all of the information on it either. Certainly not enough to call Trump a pedo. But the manifesto does, because the Democrats won't stop saying it. What was the clip that Hakeem Jeffries said? All out warfare or something? Nonstop battle? Or maybe it's in my stack of stories. They will not stop the violent rhetoric. Oh, he's a Nazi. Oh, they're sending Gestapo into cities to destroy our communities. Okay, if you have enclaves of an invading horde of people who are not citizens, were not vetted to get here, many are not bringing anything to the table, many have known criminal histories, you do not allow and make space for that. What would Nancy Pelosi? We need to make space for that, for the rioting and the murders and the domestic terrorism of the Democrat Party with the BLM Summer of Love riots. No, we need to make space for that. I might be misattributing that to Pelosi, but that was the phrase, make space for that. Doggone it, I'm going to look it up. Jamie, which Dem politician said make space for rioters? Pelosi or Harris? I said Pelosi. Oh, it was Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake, a Democrat. April 25. Oh my gosh, was it really? Okay, it wasn't the Summer of Love, but in 2015, she said, it's a very delicate balancing act because while we try to make sure that they were protected from the cars and other things that were going on, we also gave those who wished to destroy space to do that as well. My God, I've been doing this show for a long time. I remember covering that. Give them space, giving them space. We gave those who wished to destroy space to do that as well. The Democrat Party is the party of destruction. The Democrat Party does not build, they destroy. Oh, well, you see what's going on. President Trump went out there talking about building his stupid ballroom. Bet you it's going to be gaudy and gold. That's the only reason he did. They did. This is fake. It's a psyop. It didn't happen. Doesn't make sense. But if it did, the Jews did it, or Trump did it, or Erica Kirk did it. Because, you know, they're the whipping boy and girl. Every single thing that happens. Now, all right, look, I'm not a big fan of Barack Obama at all. But you know, that clip with Jenna Marbles, it was a comedy clip. Blonde girl, kind of, you know, she's kind of got it. Easy on the eyes. Okay, calm down, Big Mike. Not for you. But look, her skit, thanks Obama, me. She was thanking me for everything. You know, as some people often do. But look, you know, that called out the absurdity of my cereal got too soggy. My cereal lost its crunch. Look at the spoon with disgust and disdain and say, thanks, Obama. Like, you know, making fun of the people who, you know, would try to blame me for everything. And, you know, comedy can often bring that out. And, you know, it's sort of like a pressure release valve. The thing about the White House Correspondents' Dinner, you know, holding power accountable, unbridled power. They kind of clash. The immovable object, the unstoppable force. And it lets a little bit of that tension out. And a lot of these have been canceled by President Trump before. But he was going to do this one. Because a lot of the people that do the thanks Obama thing, they just go, look, well, thanks, Trump. Thanks for that. Something bad's happening. Well, thanks, the Jews. You got to be behind every blade of grass. There's one thing about, they're up to everything and they're responsible for even that milk getting soggy, or excuse me, that cereal getting soggy. I'm sorry. My personal chef hasn't been around for a while. He used to pour the milk into the bowl and then I'd eat. So now I don't have cereal in the morning. I go out back and I flick the flies with my tongue. I'll flick my tongue out and grab the flies off of the flowers. Because, a good conspiracy, that'll circle the globe before the truth even has a chance to put its pants on. I'm some shape-shifting reptilian creature. Okay. But thanks, Obama. Erica Kirk was there, and I don't like the way she grieved. I bet she did it. Because, look, let's face it, she's a little cuter than Charlie. May he rest in... Well, you know how the Talmud has things to say about Jesus Christ resting peacefully? Maybe my personal views toward Charlie Kirk, look, I lit the White House rainbow. Charlie, he didn't go along with that. So, maybe the SPLC did kind of targeted Charlie Kirk right before he was taken out. But, I'm not getting into that today. So, yeah, the conspiracy tards see a conspiracy around every blade of grass, behind every story. Some stories are actually just stories, but it's tough with AI. I don't believe anything. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you read. Excuse me. None of what you hear and half of what you see. But now, some people don't even want to tell the story without getting bogged down in the weeds. And it's tough. We're becoming very nihilistic. It's hard to believe in anything. And that's always been the problem with religion, because how do you prove the unseeable, the unknowable, the unverifiable? It's tough. What we can seemingly verify, 72-hour rule in effect, obviously, we'll do our best to steer clear of assertions of fact while we unpack this. California teacher. I was somewhat recently, after the Charlie Kirk assassination specifically, called out by somebody that I know and love, that was very critical of the new American media, of myself. Maybe not doing the deep dives into myself and what it is that I'm saying or what it is that we're believing and reporting and discussing. But the comment was, your coverage of Charlie is putting a loved one of mine at risk. Don't you know they're a teacher? And my response was, well, yeah. And you've changed since you've been with this teacher, who I suspect is a radicalized Marxist, anti-American Democrat. This person didn't like that I was calling out. And I don't even remember which post it was. I mean, we share hundreds of stories, thousands of stories a week, each month. We grab and share, grab and share, grab and share. That's what we do on Instagram. Make sure you're following our Instagram account. That's what we do on X. Yeah, we weren't putting context in there. I don't need to put any fucking context in. We're adults. Click on the thing, consume the thing, leave your comments below. And sometimes we'll comment back and we'll continue. We'll start a conversation, a dialogue, place where it's allowable to have differences in opinions. You can agree to disagree. But to try to pretend and gaslight me like the American educational industrial complex and the Democrat Party and the lying legacy media, corporate America and social media, you're telling me that me pointing out the massive, rampant, violent rhetoric and bias in all of these institutions might be putting your loved one into harm's way? How many teachers did you see celebrating Charlie Kirk? How many teachers did you see mocking that and dressing up as that for Halloween? Like it's, got one. Oh, laddie, I put one up on the shelf. It's a trophy. Yeah, you're taking scalps, and we know it. And we know what you're teaching the kids because they're reporting back to us. And the youth have rejected your bullshit. You know why? In no small part to the work of Charlie Kirk, who was reaching the kids who have been indoctrinated their whole GD lives, and they reject it out of cloth, out of hand, out of sight, out of mind. Dynamite. The kids have rejected their teachers' brainwashing and propaganda. Not all of them. Oh, you get. Unfortunately, you say, where are you finding these crazy, violent, confused, angry leftists? The awfuls, the angry white female leftist. And the effeminate men who join that party. It's a very estrogen-filled party. A lot of virtue signaling, a lot of wimpiness, a lot of confusion, a lot of lies. And a lot of projecting. Republicans are racist. Republicans are racist. MAGA's racist. Trump is racist. You're racist. That red hat's racist. You mean the Democrat Party of slavery? You mean the Democrat Party that was paying the SPLC and others, tons of others, to gin up things like Gretchen Whitmer, a kidnapping hoax? Remember that? Remember that, Jem? Jussie Smollett, LeBron James at his garage door. Remember that? Still unproven. Where's the smoke on that story? Can we get to the bottom of that story, please? And now look, don't go digging into King James. Look, we were tight. I said, if I had a son, it would look like Trayvon. And I asked the Miami Heat, that was Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and that guy that looks like the dinosaur from Jurassic Park, Chris Bosh. I got them to, pose. They all put on hoodies, even the white guy. They called him the Birdman. He put on a hoodie. They all did. And, we worked together to push a bullshit, racist, divisive narrative on this country. And, it kind of worked, to some degree. Don't go looking into LeBron because, ain't no party like a Diddy party, he said. But more than that, he claimed during the NBA Finals, 2017, maybe it was 17. Someone spray painted all sorts of racist stuff on my garage, and the police came out, but there was nothing there. And they said, "Oh, we cleaned it." And he said, "Well, why would you clean the crime scene?" But they cleverly said, "Well, it was just so hurtful, so painful. We had to hurry up and get rid of it." Police said, "All right, let me see the video cameras. You're GD LeBron James. You got you got walls. You got a border, and nothing's getting in and out of there. You got closed circuit security cameras. You have a security force. Let's just see the videotape, like Epstein Island." The one Kash Patel said, "I'm not going to re-victimize. Look, the ladies in these videos were by releasing them. Also, there are no videos," which, that is a legitimate critique and beef you could have with this administration. But look, we gin these things up. The demand for legitimate, angry, racist stuff, all you got to do is scroll the news. You type in white on black or black on white violence. You're going to see 95-5 black on white. But our narrative with the Democrat Party, it's that white people are bad. Always have been bad. Half of my lineage, my mom, she was white. But I identify as black. I put that other stuff behind me. And, white people are bad and Republicans are evil and men are bad and Christians are bad. Conservatives, MAGA, bad, evil. Nazi, Hitler, stealing your democracy. These things lead to, violence. But we try to pretend that wasn't us. And that's how the game is played. So the people who were at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, are they going to be changed after this to be this close to an assassination? Now, I have thoughts. Having been to a Washington, D.C. Libertarian convention in 2024 with Vivek Ramaswamy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., President Donald Trump. So I sort of understand the process of how you had to go to security, double security, triple security, quadruple security. It was pretty heightened at the time. Actually, when was that? I think before the shooting. Libertarian. Jamie, look this up. Two months after this? It was May. And then 2 months after the attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. So we're learning a lot of failures by the team, the Secret Service. I have questions. Why was the guy shirtless? I'm still picking apart video. Why was he shirtless? The shooter. His manifesto, he expected himself to be either badly wounded or eliminated. How was he taken alive? And I mean, it is probably better in this case that he was taken alive. Anyone putting him up to this? We watched that horrible video of that, I think it's a 15-year-old black kid kidnaps this lady in the street, this 14-year-old white girl, won't let her pass, won't let her move. She goes around the car and he picks the guy who's recording on the camera is egging him on, get her, like encouraging him to hurt her. And he picks her up and slams her skull into the concrete. And then American Style X curb stomps her skull into the concrete. So no, the guy that did the attempted murder, by the way, this was black on white, as in, you don't see, I've never seen videos like that the other way, but that's all the Democrats talk about. It's just white people are evil and Republicans are evil. And it's a narrative, whether it's true or not. And they repeat it enough so they break the brains of the people that start believing this shit. How culpable are the liars? How culpable are the associates, the people filming and encouraging it, egging them on? Tyler Robinson, were there people in chat rooms? Were there people planning with him, co-conspirators? The SPLC, they were funding the top leadership of the people that put on the Charlottesville play. And if you're funding them to put these events together, yeah, you're a co-planner, you're a co-conspirator. That makes the SPLC guilty as shit. Now, their fun claim is, oh, no, I know we sent like $3 million to them over the past couple of years. The KKK, I mean, who hasn't, right? By the way, I've never met a Klan member in my entire life. Have you? We're literally talking about unicorns and dinosaurs every day. If you listen to Democrats, drone on and on about how horrible America is, how horrible conservatives are, how horrible normal Americans are. We're not. We're not. But that's a narrative, and it poisons the brains of anybody who absorb it, like this California teacher. So, to the loved one who gave me grief about saying that my noticing the teaching profession regurgitating lies of the Democrat Party and the lying legacy media, it's causing fucking brain damage to Americans. And it's causing otherwise peaceful people to commit murder, attempted murder. So to that person, I say, I don't even know what I'm going to say to that person, because it's somebody I like, you know? And it's all just fucking sad. And yes, the teachers are fucking brainwashed. Not all of them. And wigs. Not all of them. But holy shit, a lot of them. You got this social justice warrior, this diatribe. Oh, what a hero he is for stopping this blight on society. Blah, 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 blah. The pedo rapist president. Uh-huh. Cool story. No, that was not a criminal court for that E. Jean Carroll bullshit. That was a civil case, and the Trump team wasn't even allowed to present a defense. Look into the details of it. What they were allowed to put out there and what they were not allowed to use for defense. And how weaponized the judicial system has been. To demonize, destroy, silence, eliminate, and fucking kill your political opponents. That is the Democrats' message. That is what a shocking number of educator indoctrinators are pushing on the impressionable kids who have to regurgitate what you said to get a good grade. You want to talk about Me Too, believe all women. How about coercion? The power dynamic. How much more rapey could it be than to take a bunch of little kids and force them to repeat your fucking lies every day to get a good grade? Or else they'll get in trouble by their parents. And you have them 8 hours a day. The parents see them 30 minutes. You've devalued the dollar so much, nobody can mom and dad can't stay home. Your kids are now being raised by the same lunatics like this California teacher that went on a murder spree. Shit's a mess. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend. Everybody make sure the thumbs up button is pressed. Rumble rants and super chats. The tip jars are open. I'm Brian, your bartender. Come on up, hang out. If you have a good time, if you enjoyed your service, please tip your bartender. Matt Walsh is a very good writer. He posts here, Erica Kirk, when seen crying, she's so performative. Look at those fake tears. Erica Kirk seen not crying. Wow, looks like she's moved on pretty fast. Why isn't she more upset? Erica Kirk seen laughing. What's so funny? Her husband just died. Erica Kirk seen frowning. Why is she scowling like that? What's she so angry about? Already, this is genius, this writing. It reminds you of either white flight or gentrification. If you go to a city as a white, you're just trying to gentrify it and run out all the non-whites. Make it so expensive nobody but white people like you can be there. Get out. Don't come here into my city and gentrify. Okay, we're going to go to the suburbs. We just want to be left alone. Oh, Oh, so you're going to take your tax dollars and starve our educational system of resources? You damn racists. That's called white flight. You fled the cities. I'm so fucking sick of it all. Because none of this should be happening. We shouldn't be having these ridiculous, backward, irrelevant conversations. Except the Democrats won't stop pushing it. Every fucking day, every fucking story, every fucking time. So now, how many Trump assassinations are we on now? How many attempts are we on now? I'm starting to lose track, and that's fucked up. 0 for Biden, 0 for Harris, 0 for Obama, 0 for Clinton. Okay? Reagan, shot. Bush, you threw a shoe at him. No, okay, fine. And at least 3 to 5, 6. There's also how many attempts that we don't know on Trump. And these Democrats will not stop with this shit. Stealing your democracy, Nazi, fascist. Oh, you've got to destroy this Democrat Party. To the studs. Gut it. Rip it down. Anyway, back to Matt Walsh here about Erica Kirk. Erica seen frowning. Why is she scowling? What's she so angry about? Erica Kirk seen existing in public. She should be home with her kids. She's abandoned them. Erica Kirk not seen existing in public. Where is she? What's she hiding? Why is she being so suspiciously quiet? Erica Kirk seen eating pancakes. Look at this stupid bimbo eating pancakes. Too good for waffles, huh? Erica Kirk seen eating waffles. Really interesting that she chose waffles of all things. Kind of suspicious if you ask me. I am so sick of the Democrats. That party, it's a domestic terrorist organization, and they have blood on their hands, and they're not done. They're not stopping. You have to put them away in the midterms completely. Democrats are polling at 19%. Blow them out of the water politically with your votes. Secure the votes. John Thune, step aside or you will be moved aside. 5 senators to replace you. Pass the Save America Act. Use every piece of legislation possible. If it's allowable as a trick play in the NFL rulebook, use it. If it's an allowable chess move, do the move. Well, no, I don't know and I don't care. Do it. If you secure our elections and make sure that American citizens are only allowed to vote, only American citizens are allowed to vote, I dare you to see what would happen with the results of these elections. You've looked at the demographics of where Kamala Harris won in 2024. Kamala Harris won. Are you kidding me? Look at the overlay of the cities and states that do not require voter ID and all this mail-in crap. Go show up, thumbprint, use your ID, whatever it is, cast your vote in person. Election day, call it over, move along. I don't think we're a 50-50 nation, a 48-52. I don't think it's that close, not even remotely. But with friends like John Thune, who needs Democrats? Because he's doing the dirty work for them. Oh, it's an operation. It's a false flag. See, he's calling for the ballroom. The ballroom's got to be that's all about Trump. Rahm Emanuel, former chief of staff, advisor to Barack Hussein Obama, said never miss an opportunity to take advantage of a crisis. Remember that? Okay. Actually, I need to double check it, but this shows why you need a secure facility to host events like this. How convenient. She's eating waffles. Okay, you're a genius. You really connected the dots there, Alex Jones. I'm not saying Alex is saying that. I'm making fun of the conspiracy theorists that try to make a mountain out of a molehill. Try to find a connection where there is none. Was Reagan shot at same hotel Trump was at this weekend? Shots fired. Yep, same hotel, Washington, Hilton, and D.C. Now, wait a minute. Washington, Hilton, and Washington, D.C. I've been in this room. This is where the Libertarian Convention was. I think I might have been. I don't know if it was. A lot of these big hotels, you can reconfigure rooms, and I don't know exactly, but this is where the president spoke at the raucous, rowdy Libertarian Convention. Yeah, I stayed there. Huh. David, bringing me back to earth here. Thank you, David Ban. Appreciate you. David saying, Brian, I have to say your Browns did very well at the draft. Thank you very much. I think we did too. A lot of people said we won. We got 2 wide receivers high. We got 2 offensive linemen high. And some other players that could definitely help. And a project at quarterback. A ton of athleticism. Someone you got to sit as a third-string quarterback and teach him and groom him. Maybe he can turn and develop into something. Who knows? Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think we aced last year's draft, and we did well in this one too. So I'm excited. Thank you. How would you grade your Bills? Did you find the receiver you were looking for? I don't know. Every time I didn't do a deep dive on your Bills yet, but I know you were looking for that receiver. But yes, thank you for jumping on here. Lake Leanne says, speaking of the draft, we had a local high school player quarterback, Baron Morton, 7th round pick, New England Patriots. That's awesome. Yeah, we had one too. Drew Aller. He played high school football at the city, at a city I played, place I've worked. Spent a lot of time growing up, actually. Same conference. He was the quarterback for Penn State, and now he's the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, yeah, rooting on all these kids to do well in their careers. Anyway, okay, so that was the Washington Hilton. That's where I was. That's where I stayed for 1 night, 2 nights. 2 nights, I think. And I've gone through these checkpoints, and they check you in, and they check everything, and then they kick everybody out, then they form another barrier, then they go back in, and they check all the stuff again. All of your equipment. I was there like 6:30 in the morning to set up my tripod, get in the media gaggle and jockey for position and set up the tripod. And all right, here's where we're going to be filming. And we get there and we're getting ready to go and we're getting really close. And then right as the event's about to take place, the pool reporter comes in with like the biggest honking camera you've ever seen. And he sets it right in front of me, directly in my shot. And I'm like, bro, you didn't have any of this X'd out, like that there's nothing behind you, is you're not gonna be able to see, and you're elevated twice as tall as everybody else. I'm like, bro, I've been here all day and you just took my shot. So much of media is like hurry up and wait. It's military, hurry up and wait. Get ready and then just wait around. But make sure you're ready. David likes the cornerback from Ohio State we drafted. Yeah, that's an easy one, David. If they played at Ohio State, there's a good chance that person could make a nice NFL player. I love being a fan of that team. They crank out so many good players. Anyway, guys, let's unpack it all. Hit the thumbs up button. Share this show with your friends. Invite some more people. We want to double, triple the size of this program. Your support means the world. We can't do it without you. We have Rumble rant tips, Super Chat tips, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. It's all scrolling at the bottom of the screen, as well as Patreon. So without further delay, thank you all for being here. Today's just it's so many things. It's disheartening, it's angering, it's sad, it's baffling, it's confusing, it's frustrating. I don't want Republicans and Democrats doing performative arguing on camera over budgets and stuff. I want you to fix the shit. I want you to just do just do it. Board of directors, whether it's an HOA or a private organization, if you need a carpet in the vestibule, get 3 competing bids, get a little committee together, meet with the vendors, get the pricing, get the scope of work, get the prices. We'll have our monthly meeting. Let's cast a vote and let's get it done. Let's move on to the next thing. The lights are flickering. All right, we need a new electrical box. We need to run some new wiring. Oh, well, it could be expensive. Great. Get 3 competitive bids. Let's bring it to the meeting room. If you want to be on the committee that meets with the vendors, that's fine, to get some additional info. Then let's vote on it and move. The fucking Secret Service hasn't been funded for 71 days. Jamie, pull it up. How long has the Secret Service been operating without pay? You hear they have to drive Uber to pay their bills? 11 weeks since mid-February. DHS partial government shutdown. Stopped around St. Patrick's Day, March 13th, 14th. 94% of its employees, mostly law enforcement agents, are required to keep working as essential, but without immediate pay. Are you kidding me? You do not despise the Democrat Party enough. So let's get into the news. Thank you. Dina says, just do it. Take a page out of Nike. Just do it. Just fund them. Just fix the things. No, thank you for being here, Brian. Skylar Bell is the UConn wide receiver. Okay. I hope you do very well until the Cleveland Browns knock you out of the playoffs. Let's see. Exactly. What if there were more guys that tried that at the same time from different areas, running past security or Secret Service or other checkpoints? A group of 5 could have changed the world as we know it. Yeah. And how many people in the chain of command? The designated survivor, how many people were in the room? I know that it was Trump and Vance. Was it also Marco? Was it Speaker Johnson? Was Thune there? Like, how many? It's a mess. It is an absolute mess, and the Democrats want to burn it all down and govern over the ashes. Do not let them. We are so out of time. We are so cooked if we don't get this right. You don't need to love the Republican Party in every single decision that President Trump has made. You need to stop arguing with each other and focus on the big things. And the big things are removing the Democrats that are poisoning the brains of the people that they're encouraging and inspiring to go out there and commit acts of violence. Step 1, do that. After the midterms, fine. Move on to some other things. But please stop the circular firing squad. This ain't helping. Whew. I'm going to fill up my coffee cup. You know what rhymes with that? Buckle up, Buttercup. Because the TNAM Daily Show. It starts now.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
David says, as I understand it, everyone was in the room. Yeah, a lot of them. Which then leads me to believe not many there were the real people. Oh, you got your stand-ins, you got your doppelgangers. How many Joe Bidens did we see? At least 3 distinct Bidens? Anyway, hit the thumbs up, share the show with a friend, Rumble rant tip, super chat tip. Let's get into the show, shall we? All right, let's dig in. Here she is, Carolyn Levitt. Some say a Erica Kirk lookalike. I wouldn't say that. Clip is circulating showing Carolyn Levitt joking earlier in the night that there will be some verbal jabs at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight.
Oh, she said shots fired. I knew it was fake. Just like John Fugelsang said, President Trump wasn't hit by a bullet. He wasn't shot. Okay. Then you click around the TV and you see John Fugelsang over there on CNN. And you go, oh, okay. Well, guess that's happening. Carolyn Levitt, you heard it right. She said there's going to be shots fired. It's a psyop. The Jews did it. Nope. Erica Kirk did it or something. What's my script say? I don't know. Who else do I blame? It's an inside job. It's a false flag.
So everyone should tune in.
Everyone should tune in. There's going to be shots fired. And we have to tell you what we're going to do. It's in the script. We can't do it unless we say it out loud in your face. In your face, stupid Americans. It's a psyop. It's a fake. It's a stage. Okay. I'm just super curious. How was the shooter captured without being shot? I want to see the rest of the footage.
It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I love it all. And you wrote most of it, you said.
I can't take credit. In true Donald Trump fashion, the man puts his pen to the paper himself. So it's a lot of his own work.
To rumble.
All right. New footage shows the chaos during the D.C. dinner shooting. Yes, you can see it here on the screen. David saying too many mistakes to be real, in my opinion, or an operation to catch the shitty Secret Service. Ooh. Now that's more believable than just like it didn't happen or Trump's just doing it to get popularity back. He's lost some support. So, last time Kamala was totally winning that until Butler and then people rallied around him. Sure. Actually, before the shooting, Biden was still in. There's no universe Biden was up on Trump. There's just no universe. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing about the ballroom in the military. It's because it's going to have subterranean. It's the bunker, the World War II bunker that you would obviously want in the White House. Apparently, that's about the Jews, too. Yeah, that's the only reason Trump wants a ballroom. Not so you can have operational security. So you can have a static perimeter and that you can have safeguards in place and multiple checkpoints. No. It's because of the Jews. Don't you know? I heard that this weekend. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I heard that. Thanks, Obama. Look, my cat took a turd, outside of the litter box. Thanks, Obama. The Amazon guy took the box and he just kind of tossed it up there. It landed in my shrubs. Thanks, the Jews. Anything that goes wrong, it's Obama or the Jews. Equally stupid to just always, everything's fake. Everything's a conspiracy. Everything's Obama. Everything's the Jews. Everything's Trump. The thing about Trump, he is so bad, it's easy to pin the tail on Trumpy, like the donkey. Except I'm the jackass of the Democrat Party, which makes me the donkey. But don't overthink this. Look, point is, you didn't build that. Anyway, Dina says Dems are evil and evil is everywhere. Many tentacles. Yes. Peel out the roots. Pull the whole stem up. Weed your garden, America. And when I say weed the garden, I mean vote them out peacefully. Dorks. And if there's any that committed treason, hey, military tribunals, right? Court of law. Where do you even try that? I don't know. I think we have ample evidence. Any day now, Kash Patel. Any day now, Todd Blanche. Any day now. So here you go, security footage capturing the moments of panic that broke out at the dinner. There he goes. Now, did he shoot him initially to get past that guy?
Shall I post it as soon as he passed down Matt?
18, go for
I think he might have shot him on his run past. President Trump addresses the nation.
Well, thank you very much. And that was
so interesting watching this dude operate. Full talks, just walks out, starts talking. Like the rest of the staff is not assembled by him. He's just out and going to it.
very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And
Todd Blanche, Kash Patel, Mark Wayne Mullen, DHS.
this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just unified, I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons.
And I don't really feel the need to say the guy's name. I don't need to make him famous. Why? So we can get a GoFundMe going? All people angry that he missed? Dina said it was Obama that made me pay attention to politics. One of his sentences was as long as a paragraph. By the time he reached the end, I didn't remember the subject matter. Yeah, Kamala was great at that word salad.
And he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly.
They acted quickly, but he should have never been able to get past it. There's Erica Kirk, leaving the White House Correspondents' dinner crying.
I just want to go find I just want to go find
I just want to go home. Yeah, people close to me that make fun of Erica Kirk every chance they get. You got some proof? Show me what you got. Nothing Candace has put out. I'm not there. Show me. Melania and Erica both appeared to be the two most freaked out people. Because they both had their husbands shot. I couldn't watch this and just laugh at her and think she's an actress. And I get it, but I don't get it at all.
I just want to go find
If you prove me wrong, you prove me wrong. I'm not in the camp. I'm not ready to. New footage shows a suspect on the ground surrounded by secret. This is all from Question Antiquity. I'm not really familiar with this account. Post number 2 is how they faked the Anne Frank diary. Third one about Bolshevik Jews. Weapons of mass destruction. This is a nice synopsis of like bullet point. Oh God, pardon the pun. Bullet points. Video clips telling the story.
Silver foil, 4, got it? No. Scooch over, it's like silver foil, top of the stairs. Got it.
Code word.
Jesus Christ. Sorry.
A 31-year-old teacher from California. Charged security checkpoint, fired a shotgun. Oh, it was a shotgun he fired? I know he had multiple weapons. I thought it was a pistol or something. Vance is grabbed by the shoulders. But Trump is still up. And here's the other thing. When you watch stuff like this, you get to pick out and break down how the Secret Service operate. I was listening to Bongino talk about this. I don't normally listen to Bongino. I saw he was live, so I clicked. I mean, he's gonna know a lot about this, having worked over there. Evac team, special evac team, or CAT. I forget what he called it, but then when they ran in with their weapons, that's when President Trump was given the clear to go. Because you watch the video, you go, why'd they get rid of Vance first? Why don't you get the president out? It's like, you don't know if there's something until you have some other fire. You don't want to move him from that first location to a secondary location. So, unfortunately, the reality of this is you're going to gain more information about tactics, because then when you learn what they do, you go, oh, well, if they're going to do this, here's the way you work around that. It's just like any NFL coach, like, whoa, you're getting a lot of yards on the run. Okay, so we're going to bring our safety up, and he's going to attack the A gap. And then the linebackers will know, okay, the inside will be handled. And you adjust. Now, this poor girl, I don't know who that is. It's not J.D. Vance's wife. It's not Juan. Is it RFK Jr.'s running mate, Nicole Sheridan? What happened there? Did Trump fall?
There's the president being escorted. The president being escorted out one side.
Look at that girl. She's crawling right there under the...
The vice president being escorted.
Yeah, Trump falls. Where are my shoes? No, I added them. All right, reaction. Trying to see if I can recognize. All right. So is this not Dr. Oz? What, somebody Oz? The Mentalist. He's doing something on a note card. Is that Nicole Sheridan? It might be Nicole Sheridan. RFK Jr.'s running mate. But he's like doing like a trick and like how you hear the shots. Her mouth jumps open and Melania is instantly like, uh-oh. And Trump is just seemingly unfazed. So now they're all looking. Carolyn Levitt and the Mentalist. Melania gets down immediately. I wonder how this is going to change the opinion of all the media that were in that room that day. I was in that. It was a shooting stampede. I mean, there were hundreds of thousands of people in Cleveland for that parade. There was nowhere to walk. Everything was packed. Streets were blocked off. Like stores were closed. Like you had to. And when people just start running at the height of the Obama era of global Islamic supremacist terrorist attacks, you just go, oh shit, everyone's running this way. I got to get out of here. It's like Jurassic Park or something. Like, what's coming in? You got a T-Rex lumbering down. Like, I don't want to find out what they're all running from. Get me out of here. That changed me. And I've always been a prepared person. I try to be. I mean, this had to be terrifying to be here in this room. I wonder if this is the same exact room that I was in. I can't tell from that look. I'm curious why this guy is holding it low and why these two are aiming. Wouldn't that be a uniform response? I would be very careful about making any sudden movements in that room. That guy running around, it's like, bro, you don't know how close you just got to getting shot. I mean, it took about 5 seconds. I mean, it was, you hear it and nobody moves. Now everyone's. President said law enforcement requests we leave the premises, consistent with protocol, give a press briefing. But we're all in perfect condition.
The vest did the job.
The Secret Service guy was wearing a vest, thankfully, or he could have been Cade.
Spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He is has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him. And he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's got...
Okay. There's no doubt that it's much more secure. The fact that you're having White House, like this one's at the Hilton, it's not attached to the White House. It's, you know, close-ish, but you want home court advantage. You know, that's the thing, like for a Super Bowl or for an NBA game, NBA Finals, you have to go into the facility. You have gates, you have locks, you have doors, you have security measures in place, you have staff, you got thousands of events under your belt. Every time you're going to a brand new place or you're going back and you haven't been there in a while, like, I mean, you're sort of starting from scratch. Outdoor events with tents and stepping in mud, and you got to rent these things, and they're just tents and they're not heated well, they're not cooled well. Why wouldn't we have something on site that you could use for decades and decades and decades and decades? The pushback on it, other than it just being Trump, and Trump said it, if he said, what a great day we have, the media would have showed up with galoshes and umbrellas. Ooh. They'd show up in G-string bikinis, ready to sunbathe, or they'd show up looking like an Iditarod racer. Brrr. Just to do the opposite of whatever Trump says. You know, I wonder, had Trump came out in opposition to this ballroom, I gotta say, a lot of people want a ballroom. I don't get it. I got a lot of ballroom in my pants, if you know what I mean. But frankly, I don't think a ballroom is necessary. I'm against it. I think we should all be against it. Come out and cast your vote at trumpballroom.gov. Say you're against it with me. Stand with me against the ballroom. Ballroom. If President Trump said that, maybe everybody would have supported it. I'm waiting for him to do that. And I know he does that to different degrees. And in negotiations, you got to play a lot of different strategies. You throw a lot of stuff up against the wall to see what sticks. I have no problem with the ballroom. Why would anyone have a problem with the ballroom other than the fact it's the mental illness of Trump derangement syndrome, you know? Lake Leon says this is a failure. Do they still need, they still do need to root out the rest of the DEI hires.
It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
He says they're demanding it. Why wouldn't they?
They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but the vest did the job.
All right. Well, that was a good report there. Similar to when I went to church for the first time in a long time after Charlie Kirk was exploded during my live show. Ugh. The pastor there came out with a bunch of whataboutism. He's like, you know, there was violence with Melissa Hortman, the Democrats, and then violence with Charlie Kirk. It's not one side or the other. You know, it's a both sides thing. We got to collectively bring the temperature down. It's not a both sides thing.
Political violence is consistently coming from one side of the aisle, by the way. And yet we continue to be gaslit and told that actually we're the radicalized ones. We're the
extremists. This is Grand Old Evan.
The extremists. We're the threats to democracy. Even though there have now been 3 high-profile assassination attempts on the President of the United States, something that has never happened in history, a literal historic level of political violence, and yet we're still framed as the radicals. You guys assassinated Charlie Kirk for voicing his political opinions. Talk about a threat to democracy. You guys celebrated Luigi Mangione when he assassinated a CEO who, by the way, did not design our healthcare system or the flaws that people have problems with. You guys treat every disagreement as a matter of life and death. So it's not surprising that so many people on y'all's side of the aisle have become so radicalized that they end up treating a disagreement as a matter of life and death and ultimately take someone's life or attempt to do so. The political violence is consistently coming from one side of the aisle, by the way, and yet we continue.
So don't deal with it. Don't engage in that nonsense. Don't let them get away with it. Okay. I just can't even bring myself to have these debates or conversations. I'm not going to dignify it with a response. All right, let's move on. California Post says a trove of leaked documents prove that the U.S. lab where the missing scientists worked was studying UFOs, claims a new documentary. UFO documents from Los Alamos Laboratory featuring the extended scene of sleeping dog. All right. Keep your eyes peeled on that story. Jeremy Corbell provided the trove. So go ahead and take a look. London mayoral candidate to the British leftist.
How is it?
Are you happy with Elon Musk? Are you an Elon Musk fan?
You know why? You know why Elon Musk terrifies you, and you call it disinformation? Because it's speech you cannot control. That's it. You can't control, although you're trying. Listen, with the online safety
You think he's a Democrat?
you are trying.
You think he believes in democracy?
Do you believe in democracy?
Well, obviously I do, but...
How do you believe? Did people vote for the digital ID? Did people vote for the online safety bill? No, you don't believe in democracy. You don't believe in Brexit.
Elon Musk.
You want it over...
Do you think Elon Musk
is not elected official. I want the leader of this country to believe in democracy.
Are you a fan?
How is it?
Are you happy with Elon Musk? Are you an...
Pushing back. Terrifies tyrants. President Trump sat down for an interview and, well, you know, enough of the regurgitation of lies.
So-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap.
Oh, you think he was referring to you? Is the barking dog the one that got hit? Fuck you, lady. You know, I've watched this clip several times over the past weekend. I caught that line once or twice. It didn't register, but it did right there. She's trying to claim, oh, you think he was talking to you? That hit a little close to home, didn't it? The insinuation there is so garbage. Because on the surface, I don't care that she's referencing what that guy said. But the way she did it, oh, you think he was talking about you? Yeah, he was clearly talking about you. Dina reminded us from that last story, reportedly China has missing scientists as well. We shall see.
From some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, you know, I'll do this interview and they'll...
So-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read.
Probably, I read the manifesto. You know, he's a sick person. But you should be ashamed of yourself reading that, because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and
these
I was
are
never,
the gunman's words.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish the interview.
The other thing that he wrote in the other thing in the manifesto.
Yeah, I want to get that beginning part one more time, because I mean it's obvious what that person was going for.
Mr. President, he appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me.
What an idiot. Remember when Jake Tapper goes, okay, all right, I'm getting word that we have this video, this totally contrived thing in Charlottesville. We're going to go to this right now. Here's our latest operation. It's so performative and fake. Okay. I'm being told I have the video. You had the video before you started the segment, you jagoff. Of course. And then her right there. Oh, you mean you think he's talking about you? Such an act. Such an act. Andy Shep here says, I've never seen someone enjoy an attempted assassination attempt more than Dana White.
They were screaming, get down. I didn't get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it in. Pretty crazy, unique experience. Let's go. Where are we going? Damn, you're okay.
All right. Supreme Court strikes down a lower court's decision that tried to block Texas from redistricting. Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson, of course, the three idiots, all dissented. Texas can now proceed with its plans to redraw congressional districts. Nancy Mace frustrated. She is being blocked by the Republican Party from exposing Ilhan Omar to get immigration records subpoenaed. And it was Republicans who blocked it. Representative Keith Selfs says some of us in the House tried to defeat this Orwellian automobile kill switch. 57 Republicans teamed up with 211 Democrats to stop us. Constant surveillance on the driver by 2027. Every new car in the U.S. I'm not buying one of those fucking cars. No way. Stop this. They said, a lot of people, they said, sir, they're talking about ballroom. I need a lot of room to carry these around. Ballroom. Paul Sperry saying, developing federal investigators looking into a possible connection between arrested would-be Trump assassin, whatever this guy's name is, and Stacey Abrams' fair fight action, as well as the radical Black Lives Matter developing. We shall see. I get reports as I get them. I got stories in this. I'm not following this Andy Shep, should I? Looks like soccer, and I don't know what that is. Andy Shepard. If this is a good one, I'll follow.
The Secret Service agent in charge of protecting Trump the day of the second.
Oh, I think I know this guy. I think he's funny. But there's too many. Keep moving. Yeah, you can't make it up with some of these people. During all this, some angry white female leftist decides, well, take a look.
Just a few minutes after the shooting happened in the White House Correspondents' Center, this woman ran at Trump's car and thought nothing would happen. She's lucky that she wasn't shot. She got arrested. She's lucky she got arrested. You can't make it up with these people.
Comments. Look at the scarf. It tells you everything. S says, make mental institutions great again. The Only says, accountability equals 0.
Imagine running at the president's car.
Yeah, can't help themselves. All right, well, the alleged shooter, and I think alleged is a pretty redundant, silly, unnecessary term at this point since we know who it was, but okay. Interviewed by ABC in 2017.
College student Cole Allen developed a prototype for a wheelchair emergency brake.
It's just interesting that, well,
the wheelchair
context.
Brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground. The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
Recent Aging into the Future conference held by St. Barnabas Senior Services and the Eisner Foundation offered a test. College student Cole Allen.
Eisner Foundation. Eisner Foundation. Okay. David Wilcock.
There is a kind of watermark that you can reach in the insider world called cosmic top secret. And
you've heard this before, that not even the presidents know all that there is to know. Well, how could you keep this from me? It's called plausible deniability, sir. If you don't know it's here, then you don't have to get caught lying about it. Where do you get the budget for this? You don't think we really spent $40,000 on a toilet seat, do you? I believe that was from Independence Day. Great movie. But David Wilcock, may he rest in peace, however he expired. Talking about above top secret.
And at that point, you're now considered to be 35 levels of need to know above the President of the United States. Because once you get to that level, you are now part of what Rich Dolan has called a breakaway civilization. What we're dealing with,
like Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged, maybe?
At that level is a very highly classified world that lives either in underground bases, of which I've been debriefed on approximately 265 that our military-industrial complex is built. They hold about 60,000 people each. And there's a whole lot of stuff I could talk about with that. But then also there are a series of flying orbital platforms that are cloaked. So they are actually in our atmosphere and they're very large. They actually do have those.
That blows my mind.
All right. Yeah, David talked about so many things. It's just, it's hard to parse. It's interesting. It's interesting whether it's confirmable, believable or not. I've always loved Coast to Coast AM and other platforms, whether it's Unsolved Mysteries or the X-Files. I love considering possibilities. I put so much of the unconfirmable stuff into the work of into the category of fan fiction. Now look, this lady sort of made herself famous. I'm gonna defend the lady here. Footage shows lady stealing wine during the Trump attack.
Oh my God, oh my God.
I want to know who that is.
Oh my God, oh my God.
I want to know who that is. Who's this lady?
Oh my God, oh my God.
I mean, she's sitting there. Come on, do something with it. We're gonna back the good folk who had an extra drink or two after surviving that trauma. #choose. I've worked a lot of events. I've been in a lot of interesting rooms. I've been the bartender in some interesting rooms. I think I've told the story before. I worked the Vanity Fair Oscar party multiple times. I mean, they shut down the street. I think it's on Sunset. I always want to say Hollywood, but it's Sunset, I believe, right at the top. I mean, so much security. Every car, you know, they have the mirrors underneath, and they're checking the undersides of all the cars. And I mean, you are very vetted at these events. Anyway, I ended up working a double for various reasons. They just didn't have enough people, and I'm like, all right. And in California, you get into double time and a half, then double time. And anyway, I was helping out, and at the end, it was like, well, those people are gone. We got to break this bar down. It's going to be another little while. I know you guys have worked your ass off. You helped set this up, and now you're tearing it down. This is like a 23-hour day. But when you're done, you can have whatever's left on the shelves. You can take it home with you. I go, what? Okay. I mean, we're talking like Grey Goose, what's it called? Milagroso, perhaps. It's a tequila with like an airburst bubble on the inside of the bottom of the bottle. Really neat. And then Johnny Walker Blue. Those are like $300, $400, $500 bottles. I'm like, okay. So we worked it, and we just filled double bagged. I mean, we had bags of bottles that we took out. So yeah, you save the bottles at these events. They're just gonna waste them anyway. So anyway, I'm backing that lady. All right, here's one of the other ones that people are saying, see, it's a conspiracy. I knew it was a conspiracy. Listen to what this lady was saying on Fox.
What is this quickly?
Fox News reporter Aisha Haseen.
Let me tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband. He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me, and right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened, and then he kind of leaned over and said, I watched you on TV, you do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some...
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there. And this happens, by the way, especially when you have so many people attempting to utilize the same cell service at the same time.
And I can tell you, I had problems in that ballroom with service. I had problems on J6 with the service. You know, those things happen. But yeah, I mean, it does cut off at a point. You're like, oh, if something were untoward, that's probably where the call would probably cut off indeed, I think. But I'm not putting a lot of stock into that. I guess the person came back on and finished the sentence. Just stay careful. There's a lot of bad stuff out there and that you're doing a good job. There was really not much to it. But, you know, thanks, Obama. Got to call it a conspiracy. Clearly, that lady not being able to finish that sentence means Erica Kirk pulled the trigger and then shape-shifted into the shirtless teacher guy from California. And if you don't believe that, then you're the conspiracy theorist. You got it, Jack? Anyway. They're showing this one. This is another clip that people are misreporting. Stephen Miller seen using his pregnant wife as a human shield. Oh, it doesn't have the video. That's a shame. That's not what happened. He had her wrapped up, and as soon as they could, he moved with her to protect her and get her out. You don't know what's happening from what direction. You're just trying to get them out of there. You're a shooting duck at that point. Get out of that room. Not always the best decision, but he wasn't using her as a human shield. That's bullshit. I did watch the video. I don't know if it's on X or not, but anyway, I digress. Maze Love says, wow, is it just a wild coincidence that shooter reportedly participated in NASA's summer undergraduate research fellowship at the JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory? Fun fact, I've worked events at the JPL. Up there in the foothills, gorgeous area. What was it, Pasadena? And there might have been wine on the tables. It might have been an event where I ended up with some wine. Who knows? So is this true? I guess I could ask Grok. Was the Trump correspondent shooter someone who worked at JPL? I think they're saying there's no. Oh, yes. From Torrance. In summer of 2014 as an undergrad at Caltech. Oh, Calcutta Technical Institute. He participated in a summer undergrad research fellowship, SURF, at JPL in Pasadena. It was a competitive temporary research internship fellowship, not a full-time job. Reportedly worked on astrophysics related. We got a lot of scientists and UFO people, and now there's astrophysics guy who's running around taking shots. Astrophysics-related modeling, such as updating planetary modeling capabilities. Part-time tutor teacher. Independent game developer. Caltech grad with a master's in computer science. Okay. It does appear to be legit. JPL is one of NASA's most prestigious research centers, managed by Caltech, and is known for leading robotic space exploration missions like the Mars rover and the Voyager probes. Undergrad fellowships are highly competitive, so he seems to be highly intelligent. So I've had this theory for a while. Why are so many Democrats believing fake news? Once again, how rapey is it that a teacher gets your kid and just beats it into him? You're going to repeat what I'm telling you if you want a good grade. And if I say the president's doing bad stuff and he's a pedo and he's an arist and all these things, and you go, okay, well, I better repeat that in my papers and in my projects, and I better circle answer C here. I think I know what she's asking, or else I'm not going to get a good grade. I think highly educated people doesn't mean smarter. Not always. They're highly indoctrinated people, heavily indoctrinated people, people who consume lying legacy media and spit out a regurgitation of what they're told to say. They take the narrative and they just say it. They don't need to believe it. They don't need to prove it. They just say it. And so it really does. You can find very gullible people willing to people please in education, academia. Doesn't make them smart. Makes them really fucking stupid, actually. If they are just consuming and regurgitating without filtering with the BS meter. Imaginary says, gonna blow your mind even more when you find out 4 of the 12 scientists that went missing and dead were all working at the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's something to look into. Here's a compilation of viral videos of Democrat voters calling for Donald Trump to, well, you know.
Why can none of you fucking aim?
Anyway, too much music, but angry with the grassy knoll. Why can't you just get shot? Why can't you aim?
Pulling the trigger unless you fucking have the shot!
I don't want to hear about another assassination attempt unless it was fucking successful. Keep that shit off my timeline.
Too much music, but this is going to be a compilation to bless their demonic souls.
Till there's success in the air.
All right, doggone music. There needs to be a playback button here where I can click it, because it happened a couple days ago. I played 15 seconds of a video and it had music in it. So our most highly rated video of the past month, all of the advertising revenue was taken away. Great. That's why I got to be so sensitive on this. But check it out. It's in our Instagram feed. If you're outside, pay attention for ticks. All right. Cedarwood, citronella, tea tree, peppermint, eucalyptus, lemon, orange, cinnamon, geranium, and lavender. Allegedly ticks hate. Spray bottle, add 20 or so drops of any or all essential oils and top with water. Not entirely certain if that's accurate, but hey, we need to be very careful that we don't allow ticks to get to us. We don't want that meat allergy. Meat poisoning. These monsters have something against beef. They want us eating bugs. You don't dislike those people enough. Anyway, when you go outside and you're going to be in the underbrush, be careful, okay? Okay. Apparently, we got fires in Georgia and in other places across America. This from, wait. Hold on. When is this from? Does it say 467 weeks? Hold on. Let me check this.
I go for Bravo 2A. Follow 2A. Favor. Copy all the, we don't have any waves of the negative. Time's out. Pumpkin out. Head it back.
Yes, God. Grok. All right. I saw this. Grok says this video is from May 2017. Not relevant. Moving on. All right. Mad. Before couldn't look you in the eye. Mads Campbell here says, my best friend and I went to the WHCD and we ended up leaving early because something felt off. Really? It started the second we got there. Every event we've ever been to, especially at this level, there were layers of security, bags checked, IDs checked, actual process. And that's what happened to me at this exact venue, the Washington, D.C. Hilton, with President Trump. It started the second we got there. This time, nothing. We were just asked if we had tickets, said yes, and got waved through. No bag check, no real screening, no line, just thousands of people packed together, being pushed through the doors as fast as possible. It felt wrong immediately, like viscerally wrong. My best friend literally turns to me and says, I think something's going to happen. And then it did. This cannot happen. Not here, not at something like this. Praying for everyone, but there needs to be accountability because this should never happen again. Two Uncle says, DC is the most high-tech surveilled area in the U.S., but the released footage comes from cameras that look like they were installed in the early 70s. Yep. And of course, the first comment, what's off is that this was a staged event. The guy's diatribe of a manifesto, he's probably speaking posthumously, thinking he'd be incapacitated or eliminated. I mean, he's regurgitating all the CNN Democrat Party talking points. It's not a conspiracy that, like, this guy felt like he had to kill baby Hitler to save the world, or you got to take out this fascist. Someone's got to do it, and it had to be me, and I regret that I have to do it, but doggone it, I just can't live like this anymore. That's not an impossible to believe story. It's very possible to believe. So, in fact, what we wrote here on the New American Media, make sure you're following us on Instagram. We said at a 2024 Nashville RFK event with TV's Blake Wally and Vicky Richter, journalist, met Vicky down there and went there with Blake Wally. I said that event felt the same. Security was woefully inadequate. Yes, that was. Good ear. Good ear, Dina. That was Radiohead Creep in the background. Indeed, indeed. Good info for ticks. Yeah, I just got 6 new spray bottles. It's that time of year. It's that season. And last year I had some tick issues. I noticed a couple on me, and I don't like that. Never happened in my entire life before that I'm aware of. So I'm going to be extra diligent this season, and you should be too. Ankles, neck, wrists, maybe the waistband. I don't know how they get where they get. Like, I'm not rolling around in the grass. Like, how are they? Anyway, be prepared. David says they're all going to have serious breakdowns after they learn the truth. I mean, could any of us handle the truth? They keep hinting at disclosure. We shall see. Marion, cool. I already have 6 of those essential oils. Put them all together. Tell me how that smells. Maybe awesome? You might need to treat the feral cats. Here's a tip. If you get the, not an endorsement, not medical or veterinarian advice, but I was given advice with my rescue cat organization. We did TNR on a couple hundred cats in Los Angeles. Frontline, if you get the dog Frontline, then you get a needle and a syringe. 1 dose of large dog can give you like something like 3.5 cat. So you draw it out, and then you keep some of the small containers and you put 3.5 ounces or milliliters, whatever the measurement is. And it works. So yeah, keep your cats treated if they're going to be outside for sure. And I got to be careful I'm not bringing anything into my cats, you know. But yeah, something's up with these ticks, and I'm not a fan. There's a report here that the shooter had a shirt for Israel Defense Forces. Let's see what Grok. Confirm or deny. Shooter was wearing an IDF sweatshirt in a picture. By the way, I'm open to all conspiracies. I just need to see more proof. I can't just throw a bunch of garbage up at the wall. Oh, Grok is thinking. It can't. Here, I will copy the link. Is confirmed or debunked? Yeah, Grok is not answering. Doesn't like this IDF question. Debunked, mostly false. Huh? It claims he flew, not drove. That's not what I'm asking. Okay, it answered a different question. Is this a real photo of the shooter wearing an IDF sweatshirt? Weird that it wouldn't answer the first time. It answered a question I wasn't asking the second time. No, it does not contain a real photo. A different image has been circulating widely on Instagram, claiming to show him wearing an Israel Defense Forces sweatshirt from a now deleted Instagram post. Widely considered fake, a composite or AI edited. No credible news outlet verified it as real. Fact checkers and AI detection tools show inconsistencies, odd furniture geometry, blending artifacts, pants anomalies, doesn't match known authentic photos of this guy. It appeared suddenly after the incident with no pre-existing trace on his actual account. Bottom line, the IDF sweatshirt claim is debunked, unverified, appears to be manufactured for conspiracy narratives. Condense this into one sentence so I can post in IG for context. And I will. No. Condense into one sentence the IDF reply of yours. It answered the wrong question again. Okay, but look, because I share something, it doesn't mean I endorse it. We're going to dig into some of these. Per Grok. Okay, we learned something today. This is likely not legitimate. And that's what we asked. We actually did ask that. Real or AI? Okay, what's this? Right Angle News Network says California Rep. Ted Lieu now facing mass calls for expulsion after it was revealed that last night's attempted assassin from California acted on the exact lines he made, exact lies that he made about President Trump. Call and ask why he is convincing his constituents to commit acts of terror.
Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children. Donald Trump.
Debunked, unverified accusations. This Democrat piece of shit is encouraging his people to go do something about it. Oh, he's mentioned a bunch of times. Mentioned. Oh, a mention means that you need to be eliminated? Really? You're mentioned. Pretty sure we have innocent unless proven otherwise in this country, but is this guy not American born? Comments questioning if he is American born. Ted Lieu helped create this toxic environment. You want a little context of John Stossel exposing the Southern Poverty Law Center actually being a hate group back in 2018? Take a look.
There are dangerous hate groups in America who will warn us about them. The media haven't answered.
The Southern Poverty Law Center. The Southern Poverty Law Center.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, based in that building in Alabama, calls itself the premier group monitoring hate groups. Looking at their map of such groups, you'd think America was consumed by hate.
Everywhere.
I once believed in the center's mission. Well-meaning people still do. Apple just gave them $1 million. But what donors don't know is that today the center smears people who don't deserve to be smeared.
The presence of radical Islam.
This woman grew up in Somalia, suffered female genital mutilation.
Oh, man.
So now she speaks out against radical Islam. For that, the center put her on its list.
Multiculturalism failed these communities.
This man was once an Islamic extremist, but then he decided radical Islam was wrong, and
They say radical, Islamic supremacists. I think that's a better phrase.
now he criticizes the radicals. The center labels him an anti-Muslim extremist too.
Being honest about what Islam is doing doesn't make you, but the SPLC doesn't see it that way.
Join the fight against hate and bigotry.
Visit splcenter.org. I do think that we have a problem with hate in this country.
We put about 10 of these major hate groups out of business.
The center's leaders, Richard Cohen and Morris Dees, would not talk to me. So commentator Nomiki Kant stepped up to
Nomiki Kant? What's that name?
to defend them.
They have a history, a long
Nomiki Kant, the Young Turks correspondent.
history of fighting against extremists like the KKK.
Years ago, Harper's Magazine reported that the center's the wealthiest civil rights group in America, one that spent most of its time and money on a fundraising campaign. Now, Morris Dees did once promise to stop fundraising once his endowment hit $55 million. But when he reached $55 million, he changed that to $100 million, saying that would allow them to cease costly fundraising. But when they reached $100 million, they didn't stop. Today,
they have an endowment that now is over $320 million, much of which is in offshore accounts, Caymans and places like that.
How do you know?
Oh, we look at their 990s.
And it says Cayman Islands?
Yeah.
They pay some of their people more than $400,000 a year.
Well, it's 2017. It costs a lot of money to exist in this world.
The Southern Poverty Law Center now lists people like Ben Carson, Laura Ingraham, and Jeannie Pirro as extremists.
Everybody who disagrees with me is Hitler.
But it doesn't list Antifa, the hate group that beats up people on the right.
Yep. BLM, Antifa, they all get a pass, but if you Proud Boys are a similar group that's designed to maybe protect yourselves and not allow these groups to push you around, well then, you're the bad guy for standing up and not taking the abuse.
The center's become a hate group itself.
Yes.
It's now a left-wing, money-grabbing slander machine. There are dangerous hate groups in America who will warn us about them. The media have an answer.
The Southern Poverty Law Center. The Southern Poverty Law Center.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, based in...
All right. Well, good times. Good information here. Just to be clear, a false flag doesn't mean it didn't happen or that no one died. It means that it was staged in order to achieve an objective by swaying public opinion via fear and anger. And I do get it. I do get it. You instantly pivot to the ballroom. I get it. But I mean, that's the obvious thing. You're like, if we were in our home court, we wouldn't have needed to go into unfamiliar territory. It also doesn't mean that this thing didn't happen. So now look, Benny Johnson here has a report. You know, my playback is doing it again. Are you noticing any lag on the show today? I just kind of noticed a little bit of slow motion there. But look, Benny Johnson is going to hit me hard on this one. But, you know, I'm used to getting everything I want and never facing consequences for my actions. I'm Barack Hussein Obama, and I approve this message.
Barack Obama is being completely destroyed right now by the internet for saying that there's no motive with the guy who tried to assassinate Donald Trump.
Look, how could there be a motive? You know, I made my post like a day later, or half a day later, the next afternoon or something like that. How could you know? It's not like we had a manifesto or that we knew what this guy was all about, except that we did. So just don't believe your lying eyes and ears. Just believe me. You're a savior. Hopeity hope, changeity change. And remember, you didn't build that.
Yeah, there is a motive. The guy left a literal manifesto that says, I want to kill Trump. Then he left an entire social media breadcrumb trail saying he wants to kill Trump. Then he texted all of his family members saying he wants to kill Trump. And then he grabs a shotgun.
And there's too much music in the back of it. Yeah, he books a room in a hotel after traveling across the country on a train because they don't have the same kind of TSA check. You could travel with a bag full of guns, which he did. Picked a very specific style gauge for the shotgun. Yeah, he went with, didn't pick slugs. He picked the bird shot so it didn't get too many innocent people, except they're all innocent people. You know, you're not judge, jury, executioner. And there's nothing illegal about traveling to places and having arms on you. This is America. But taking them to shoot them at the administration, like, you obviously can't do that.
Shooting up a couple of Secret Service agents in the process. So yes, Cole Allen, who's his...
He was trying to K Trump, yet Barack Obama is here saying, oh, his impression? My impression's way better, Benny. Yeah, party that this from the Babylon Bee. The party that called Trump Hitler for 8 years, shocked as someone again tries to assassinate him. No doubt. All right, so you're picking up a little bit of lag on your side, are you? And I did restart the computer today. So there's that. Yeah, shocked. I'm shocked to learn that there's gambling occurring here at Casablanca. Here's your payoff. 8 years calling him Hitler. 9 years now. Tim Burchett. I'm Tim Burchett, and I'll leave the light on for you. Daggum. Look, we have some daggum UFOs out there. Underwater.
Make sure I'm understanding is a member of our government has told you.
The Alex Jones clip that I scrolled past was something from, I believe, something unrelated, but it was 10 years ago talking about all of it. Alex was right type of stuff. It's 2-3 minute video. You can go check it out. I don't know. I don't know what Alex's take is on this particular event.
And others, I guess, that there is a form of alien life and machinery which maybe brought this living creature here that interacted in some form with people?
Yeah, they have. And they've, it's pretty wild. I know, but I'm just telling you, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd take a lie to tell you. You want to put me on a polygraph, I'll take it. Yeah, but, this is what the guy told me. I mean, I've had a very high-ranking naval official describe, I've talked about this before, underwater craft, something big as a football field, moving at over 200 miles an hour. And there's no fish in the ocean that would do that. We don't even have a sub that'll probably do 40 miles an hour under the. And the last thing he said before he left my office was, it was kind of weird because he didn't go out he went out the side door, which nobody ever uses. And he looked at me, he pulled me up close, and he said, "Tim, they're real." And that's the last thing he said to me. That'll be the title of my book, I guess.
What I want to make sure I'm understanding.
Out of your book, Tim, they're real. Okay.
Is
TMZ talking with Tim Burchett. Kangmin Lee here. I've shared some of Kangmin Lee's stuff. America cannot be a proper and safe country again until we rid this country of left-wing terrorism. Stop trying to K our president, you demonic lunatics. Missed again. I don't want to keep tempting that, though. I want better procedures so it doesn't happen. Tonight's a good reminder of why the right needs to stop the infighting. The first priority has to be crushing the left that is trying to K us and our president. The first priority has to be crushing the left. Yeah. No compromise for those who commit political violence and advocate for it. I concur. Registered Democrat, go figure. I don't think he was a registered Democrat. At least I heard another report today that said he was, and I'm donated to Kamala Harris. I've heard that going around. Lives a TikTok, says they searched the contributor database, name and city matching a shooter, donated to Kamala Harris, and is a teacher. How do you tell who votes for who? Oh, isn't some of that supposed to be private? Why is the shooter shirtless? They ripped it off to make sure he wasn't wearing anything strapped to him? Democrats virtue signaling to disavow political violence in our sacred democracy. It's laughable. As if they don't spend every waking moment calling Trump Hitler, ICE, the Gestapo, convincing their followers that everyone to the right of Hillary Clinton is a fascist Nazi who deserves to die. Kangmin Lee says this is a death cult. And this is no exaggeration. They are a violent threat to the lives of normal Americans. I thought we understood this when millions of them cheered at the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Meanwhile, outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner, the dude on the right hit me with this sign. Death to tyrants, it says, and death to all of them. Wow. In case you're wondering if actual attempted shooting would make them feel any shame, nope. I don't know, but I feel like now's a good time to remind everyone that Hassan Piker has told his viewers to fill the streets with the blood of his political opponents. Lincoln, JFK, RFK, Martin Luther King, Reagan, Trump, Charlie Kirk, all shot by Democrats. Don't tell me this is a back and forth party thing. Hassan Piker says, K the MFers, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood. 3 days ago, the New York Times promoted this guy. Matt Walsh says leftists have tried to kill the president 3 times now. They killed Charlie. They've shot up churches and Christian schools and rioted in the streets. They are the party of terrorism. Political violence comes from one side. How much longer will we allow these people to wage war on the country? He continues, no president has ever been targeted for political assassination 3 times. The level of political violence from the left is historic. We've never seen anything like it in the entire history of this nation. It's a 5-alarm fire, national emergency, drastic measures must be taken. We don't need the key. We'll break in. Da-da-dun, da-da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-da-dun, ba-ba-ba. I got no patience now. Anyone know the song? So sick of complacence now. Sick of it, sick of it, sick of it, sick of it now. 3, 2, 1. Type it in the comments. Well, it's Rage Against the Machine, Know Your Enemy with Maynard James Keenan from Tool. Cool song. Rage is I don't like the lyrics there. I like Maynard's lyrics. Anyway, I digress. Drastic measures must be taken. Timeline is already swarming with retards screaming staged or false flag about the WHCD shooting, says Kangmin Lee. It's truly a work of art. You can spout assertions and conjectures with no evidence whatsoever, and millions of other NPCs will just eat it up. So that's my ask. Before we jump into conclusions about things being fake, let's just 72-hour rule. Let's learn about it. Dina says, after JFK, the deep state felt more at ease with these assassinations. Well, if you let them get away with it, they're going to do it again. And it's going to be more. Republicans, more actions and less words. Yeah, please. When Democrats don't get their way, boom, John Wilkes Booth. They get dangerous. It is their culture. Not good. And once again, here's that clip of Erica Kirk.
I just want to go find
Tim Poole says, imagine being told you're taking over a massive political organization abruptly after your husband is murdered. You're told you cannot crack, you cannot break, you must hold it together. You get death threats, insults, and no matter what you do, they tell you you're wrong. That's Erica Kirk breaking down in tears, leaving the White House dinner after shots fired. She was tragically widowed when a left-wing assassin took her husband's life. Heartbreaking to see what Charlie Kirk's wife has to go through. If you got some evidence that she did it to take out her husband, then show me. I've watched clips of Candace. I'm still waiting. We can have questions about official narratives, but you're going to have to show me more than I've seen so far. At that JFK, at that RFK event that I told you, I went with Blake Wally and tagged that Vicky Richter journalist that we met down there. Jeff Dye was one of the comedians. Rob Schneider and what's that guy's name? That actor, Russell Brand, Dave Landau. Trying to remember all the comedians that were there. He was there performing at the Ryman Theater in Nashville for the RFK event. So Jeff Dye on stage talking about it. What happened at the dinner?
There was a shooter tonight at the old correspondence dinner. You guys hear that? Yeah, the correspondence dinner, there was a shooter. They had to evacuate the president and the first lady. It was a big deal, so they didn't have the dinner. They kept shouting. They were like, get down, everyone get down. I was like, I don't know if that's good advice. Well, you can still shoot someone on the ground. I'd be like, zig and zag! Everyone be really wiggly. That's hard to turn your head a lot. You know, that worked last time for this fucker, you know?
Be really wiggly.
Do that Matrix thing. I don't know. Just fucking be unpredictable. Everyone be unpredictable. Shooter's like, what the fuck is going on? I think I'd be smart. How many times are you going to try to kill this guy? It doesn't work in your favor. You know, if you don't like him, don't kill him. Everyone's going to, then it'd be big. Then you know what I mean? That first time they killed him, that's what got me on board. I was like on the fence, then they shot his ear and he stood up and he's like, I was like, all right, I like this guy. I don't know dick about politics, but I like that fucking guy. Stood up bleeding like, they won't get me, fight. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, that's the guy. I don't care what he wants. He could have said anything after that. Like, we're gonna kill Hawaii. I'd be like, fucking kill him. I don't give a shit. That's my guy. You guys see?
Jeff did a really good stand-up set. Saw him, met him as well. I saw him at a different location and talked with him. He's a good comic. You should check him out. Jeff Dye, D-Y-E. Get real wiggly. Zig and zag. Jamie Mitchell says, liberals need to calm down. President Trump is not going to harm gay people, bring back slavery, or strip women of their rights. He's not a Muslim. But the left loves that group.
Now, where would a regular, ordinary teacher get an idea to assassinate the president?
Yeah, where does that idea come from? Johnny Depp. When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
The last time an actor assassinated a president.
We're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need it?
That's it right there.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Yeah, but those are actors and stuff, right? They're not regular people.
People are saying it's going to happen this weekend and they're buying champagne or whatever. I want to remind everybody that we need to make sure that they don't bury it. We need to hang it out front of the White House for the birds to pick clean.
The party of love and tolerance. So not
the party of love and tolerance.
only does he want it to happen, he wants the corpse to be on full display so the birds can pick at it.
Now, have I said similar things about Barack Hussein Obama after being found guilty of treason by the proper, I think it's a military tribunal? I mean, everything above board. I mean, there are penalties. President Trump securing the border so people can't sneak in and commit crimes. That's not treasonous activity. They're inventing all these phantom realities that are not rooted in logic. That's different than saying Obama's been committing treason over and over and over and over and over. Coups, treason, over and over, continuously, still tentacles involved in this deep state.
Coming. We're all going to wake up one morning and roll over, grab our phones, and that headline's going to be right there.
Too much music. It's going to happen.
There's a great video where you talked about, someone has to do it.
Someone has to do it. They're calling for someone to just anyone, please do this. They've called open season to take him out, and it's gross.
See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean.
I will go and take Trump out. Ever since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I will never be surprised by the disgusting nature of you people. Now, where?
Yep. I will never be surprised again. Here in this story, go back. Detroit Crime Daily. I've seen this reported in a few different spots. Not sure if it's accurate. Let me ask. SBA referred 152K fake COVID loans. What was the number? 552? Oh, 562. The report is that SBA refers 562,000 borrowers tied to suspected fake COVID loans worth $22.2 billion to the Treasury. Real, but it's 562. Okay, yeah. Loans flagged for suspected fraud during Biden admin, not referred. Kelly Loeffler. Oh, didn't she run in Georgia or something? White House task force to eliminate fraud led by J.D. Vance. Okay, so that's happening. Keep your eyes peeled. Here's a reminder. Just because President Trump knows how to take advantage of a bad situation doesn't mean he planned it. You mouth breathers. Well, he was out there talking about the ballroom. It's all about his ballroom. You know Trump had to be behind it. You know that. You convinced a California Democrat to go be a tool for Trump so Trump can get what he wants? I'm going to need a better hypothesis to jump onto the conspiracy train with that. It doesn't make sense.
Political violence is not a both sides problem. It's coming from the mainstream left. Last year, a Rutgers study found that over half of center-left respondents said it would be somewhat justifiable to murder Trump. 22% of liberals under 44 say it's okay to feel happy when a political opponent dies, compared to just 6% of conservatives. For the last 10 years, the left has been calling for the use of political violence.
By the way, President Trump did talk about Robert Mueller. I'm glad he's dead, he said. Yeah, he ruined his whole term. Ran a witch hunt to accuse him of being a traitor. A Putin puppet. He's very glad that Mueller is gone. Mueller attacked President Trump and his family and his administration and tried to ruin his life. And essentially stole the whole first term from him. And if you ask a bunch of liberals now, they're still going to tell you, oh yeah, Trump was controlled by Putin. Yeah, they rigged the election. None of that happened. But it was all a psyop to make sure that you just could never take the Trump admin seriously. And let's wait him out. Then we'll frame him for insurrection. He'll be gone for good. Oh crap, he's back. Yeah, let's drum up a bunch of dummy charges. Let's change the laws and we'll get Reid Hoffman to fund this E. Jean Carroll lawsuit and we'll change the statute of limitations. We'll do whatever it takes. We will move heaven and earth to try to frame Trump, is what they said to us.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Okay, I think that's the same clip that I shared, but you get it. Jimmy Kimmel, what is this? When was this Jimmy Kimmel clip from? Was this a fake White House Correspondents' Dinner? Was this from yesterday?
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. Shots fired. Carolyn Lovett. Yeah, conspiracy tards might injure their shoulders patting themselves on the back with this proof. This is common vernacular for a roast, okay? Then, of course, Thomas Massey just sounded the alarm, says Holden Kulata. Congress is on the verge of handing Monsanto total immunity to mass poisoning Americans with glyphosate. This is existential for MAGA. In fact, if farmers contract a form of cancer from this chemical, if this makes it into the Farm Bill, you will not be allowed to sue. I find that to be completely unacceptable. So follow the glyphosate story and support Thomas Massey, even though Thomas Massey's constant anti-Trump stuff has grown really thin with me, because you need to kind of help get some wins, and you're constantly voting like a Democrat. Massey will say, I'm not voting like a Democrat, I'm voting like a libertarian. And we have principles and ideals and values and morals, and we've got this stuff right. And if they're not perfect, I can't support it. It's like, bro, you can't have perfection every time. A good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. But that issue right there with the glyphosate, you know, that's something that can take a former Democrat like me and a libertarian like Thomas Massey. That should overlap with MAGA. But for some reason, President Trump has gone back on some of his pledges about glyphosate. I don't really understand it, but we're still working on it. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. But you're going to need to stay tuned tomorrow, because this is the end of our TNAM Daily Show today. We have Rumble rant tips, super chat tips. We are like PBS. We are totally crowdfunded. We don't do ad reads, but we do have bills. So if you enjoy your time here at the bar, my shift is ending. This is the time to settle up your check. And if you like something, toss a tip on there. We appreciate you. Help us share the show. That's one way you can definitely tell your friends to come on into this bar. And we'll talk about all the stuff on the screens behind us like we do every day, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern time. At some point, we may change the time of this show to earlier in the morning or later in the day, later in the evening. For now, we're noon. And we're going to keep talking about the news together. And I appreciate all of you regulars who jump in and keep the conversation going and keep the... because I really do. I try to incorporate your comments and thoughts and questions and jokes quite a bit. I really do. It wouldn't be the same just doing this to myself. And by the way, yeah, good point. You recall it was said that Mueller carried the sample of uranium to the European Union or somewhere there across the pond. Yeah, I've heard them talking about that. That Mueller was directly, and that's why President Trump keeps saying, we'll go get the nuclear dust. I heard another guest on another show talking about how just leave it down there. This is not good. That's how you don't go digging this stuff up. But they say there's a chemical imprint on the yellow cake or the isotopes of I don't know exactly the vernacular for the uranium or the nuclear fissile material. I don't know. I'm just throwing words at the wall. Maybe one of them's the right word. If Obama and Mueller and Hillary and the rest of the Democrat deep states are the ones that were supplying uranium-1 to Russia, who sold it to Iran to get a nuclear program together, what will that mean? Does that define? Is that fit the literal definition of the word treason, to arm your enemies with nuclear weapons? I mean, it doesn't get more diabolical than that. So yeah. I think it's going to be a very busy spring. I hope it will be. And I suspect it will be. And coming up July 4th, our 250th birthday party. So stay tuned. Yeah, I was rewatching The Sum of All Fears. with my buddy Izzy. He had never seen it. He had never watched it. So he's going into the military. I'm like, let's watch this one. It's a pretty good flick. All right. Got to run for now. Signing out on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM universe. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.